Hi guys, how you doing? I'm Richard from Genki English. Now, have you ever wondered how some teachers can just walk into basically any class and instantly they have all the students, whether adults or kids, just eye contact on the teacher, really enthusiastic to learn and really wanting to do stuff. Whereas some teachers, some classes, it's total chaos. Nobody's paying attention, nothing's going on, no learning, and the teacher's just going, this is crazy. Well, these are some of the things that I'm going to be looking at in this course and getting you to be one of these super cool teachers so you can get the kids' attention or the adults' attention, whatever age group you're teaching, you get their attention, you get them learning from you and wanting to learn from you with as least lesson planning as possible. And finally, at the end of the course, they're going to get amazing results so that your bosses or the parents or the adults or other people will look at you and go, wow, that's a super cool teacher. I want to be like that. So that's what we're going to be doing in this free online workshop series. So I'm Richard and I'm the creator of Genki English and also the creator of this new teacher training course. And I'm a lot like you. Nowadays, I get paid, I'm lucky enough, I get paid to travel all around the world and do training and teaching for sometimes huge groups of people in Vietnam or in Europe or in Africa or in India, for schools, for universities, for bookstores, for publishers, even a TEDx speech, as well as newspapers, magazines and TV around the world. I also do smaller groups as well. Whether you're teaching small groups or larger groups, I've probably been there and had a bit of experience of doing that sort of thing. But of course, I wasn't always like this. When I first started out teaching, I had basically no idea. When I first started out teaching my first adult classes, I planned all this awesome stuff. I said, I'm going to do this, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. And I walked in there, and my students were saying, nah, we don't have the time, can't be bothered, don't want to do it. And I was like, oh. And then the same when I was doing my first kids classes. Just graduated from university, had my suit on and a tie on. I walked in there, they put me in the middle of a kindergarten, and I was expecting to teach, and all of a sudden 30 kids were just going, wow, and just going crazy. And I was like, what's going on, what's going on? So very quickly, in both situations, I realized I had to learn what the difference is between the teachers who were like I was then and the super amazing teachers who were almost like effortlessly teaching, who the kids would look up to, the adults would look up to, and they were doing really cool lessons. And it seemed with very little effort compared with me who was going, whoa! And I started teaching like 25 years ago, so it's a long time ago. And these techniques that I'm going to show you now, I've learned them a lot, some of them from trial and error, a lot of them from some of the best trainers and teacher trainers in the world. I've been fortunate enough to work alongside people from various different organizations. Some of the techniques I'm going to show you today I learned from trainers from the American State Department, and these are the techniques they used in the Bronx and some of the toughest schools in the world. So that what I'm going to be teaching you now is going to be really cool stuff that's really going to help your lessons and take them from where they are now to where you want them to be. But before we start, just a couple of little warnings. So the first one is, the two little sort of things in your head that might stop you from getting the benefits from this course. And the first one is saying, I know that already. Some of you might have read my blogs, you've read books and things, and I'll talk about these techniques and you might say, I already know that. No. But take that away. Let's start with a white, clean sheet of paper, and I'm going to explain some of the how and why we use these techniques. And then, so hopefully, even if you're a beginner and you're just wanting to know how to start with your classes, or if you're an experienced teacher who wants to take them to the next level, start with a clear mind, listen to what we've got to say, and just try it out in your class. Very often, we go for ages thinking, oh, I know Richard said we should do this, but I'm not sure. But then actually when we do try it, we go, wow, I wish I'd have done that earlier. That's one thing. And the second thing to be careful of is that won't work in my school. Very often I get people saying, oh, that works for kids, not for adults. It works for adults, not for kids. It won't work in my country's special. Yes, your country is special, but these techniques do work everywhere. So again, let's have an open mind. Just pretend you're one of the students. Let's have an open mind, start from the beginning. Just try them out in your class and see how you go. I'm pretty sure you're going to be pleasantly surprised with them because they are really, really cool stuff. Cool, so I'm glad you're on board with that. And before I show you some of the techniques, this mindset, the way of thinking, is really one of the most important things. It's the things that separate, the teachers who are always frustrated and having difficulties with the teachers who have the confidence and, seemingly effortlessly teach English. It's all about the mindset. And one of the first things we have to learn is, or one of the first things we have to think about is that there is no such thing as a bad class. And there is no such thing as a bad student. Now, some of you might say, oh, yeah, there are definitely bad classes, there are definitely bad students. Let's put that to one side. In our minds, we always have to think every class can become an amazing class, and every student can become an amazing student. Now, for those of you who have your own schools and you may be able to fire students, that's a different thing. Especially for those of you where you can't fire students, if you're in a government school or if you're working for someone else, you have to teach everybody, then it's very important to stay the mindset, okay, this can be an awesome class, this can be an awesome student. I, as a teacher, just have to find the right way to reach them. The right tools to teach them, the right mindset to teach them, the right materials to teach them. And if you have that mindset in your head that it's always possible, anyone can become a great student, then you will become a great teacher. I'm going to magically transport myself from rural France, where I am now, to Arizona, and I'm going to show you the warm-up techniques, or the very first thing I do in the very first lesson. And I do this for any classes I do, whether it's hundreds of people in a big auditorium, whether it's a small group and we just want to get exercised and warm up, or even when I'm doing things like my TEDx talk and we had scientists and professors and things, I do this next technique as well. So let me quickly, magically whisk myself away, and I'll see you in 2 seconds time for the Ginky English warm-up techniques. See you in a bit. So imagine if I'm just coming into the class now, I just go over there. I'd just be looking, I wouldn't say anything yet, just look around, getting eye contact from the kids. They're trying to sum you up and thinking, who's this person? Be confident with your body language, don't go like that. Or even worse with a book going, Strong, confident, like a superhero, yeah? Superheroes for teachers, not just kids. Make sure your t-shirt's long enough. So, be strong, but listen, look around the classroom, and before you say anything, just look around and try and get as much eye contact as you can with all the kids, especially the ones at the back, because they're going to be the troublemakers, that. Try and pick out the leader kids, the alpha kids, the ones who are going to be your allies, and then also the shy kids, the ones who may be looking down a bit. Just give them a little extra smile as you're looking around, yeah. So you do that, look around the class, and remember, when you're playing a piano, as famous pianist said, when you play the piano, it doesn't matter what notes you play. The notes are not important. The important point is the gaps between the notes. So in your class, don't be scared of having pauses in there. And short little gaps get people's attention without you saying anything. Now, don't do what a lot of teachers do and just wait for the class to be silent, because they won't, they'll go crazy. So, if you walk in the class, if it's first time, you've probably got enough attention on you, you can just pause a second, do the eye contact, then we can start. What's the very first thing we start with? The most useful word in English, just say to the kids, hello! That's it. And then you wait for them to respond back to you. So you go, hello! And they'll probably go, hello. Yeah? So then it's your job to say, come on, get a bit louder, everybody. Hello! And they go back, hello! And get it even louder, come on, hello! Look, hello! Get it really loud. The reason we want it loud is because if the kids are talking loud, even that little shy kid at the back thinks it's okay to talk.
if you just have them talking normal voices, only the Genki kids will respond. So you want everybody to do it. So that's the first thing, is hello, dead easy. And then we're going to run into the first Genki English lesson. The first lesson we have is the disco warm-up. And the first language we're going to teach is stand up. So big gestures, you see how I'm doing all the gestures, yeah? So you just go stand up, watch your t-shirt again, and then the kids all go, they might go slowly, so then you just go, no, come on, let's do it fast. Ready? 3, 2, 1, stand up. And again, if you look through the site, you look at the videos I've got in actual classrooms, you see how really well this works. Works with all age groups. You know, when I did my TED talk, I did this with the group of TED professors, you know, the top university people and amazing people, but I did this with them. And it's big, you know, 3, 2, 1, and then you go, sit down. And you go, oh, you made a mistake. They're all going, no, just make fun about it. Say, oh, mistakes are good. And it's cool. And just those 2 words, hello, and then stand up, put your lesson on a whole different level to everything else. Because most kids, what's the first thing you learned when you were in primary school? It was sit down, shut up. And we're trying to get rid of that. We want the kids to stand up and go, yeah, I can do this. So you teach the word stand up, sit down, clap, get the volume control, check out the other videos, cheer, into the Genki English disco warm-up, and off you go. So that's your first 2 minutes. First impressions, really important. So practice it in front of the mirror the night before. Have a smile on your face. If you're scared or you're not too sure, just leave all that outside. And when you walk through that door, boom, leave all your problems outside. You're in this class for that kid and that kid and that kid, and try your best 100% so they go, wow, this is something different. I'm going to give this teacher a chance. Let's see what they can teach me, and let's see what cool stuff we can do together. Because that's what it's all about. So that's your first 5 minutes of lessons. And from then on, work through the curriculum. Your first year, you'll make so many mistakes. I was terrible in my first year. But you practice and learn more and ask questions, and eventually you'll be a super awesome Genki teacher.
And we're back in France now. As you can probably tell, there's a chateau behind me there, which is pretty cool. So I hope you got a few ideas from that video and some of the things we've talked about today that you can actually use in your class tomorrow. And that last activity, the warm-up, I really like that as well for small groups. Say if you just got 4 or 5 students, you just get in a circle and you all give each other commands. So it's not just the teacher talking, which is really cool. And that activity helps set the stage for what we're going to do in the future lessons, for how we're going to teach, and it sets the base for the discipline part of the lesson. And that's what's going to come up next in the second video. Because I sent out an email to like 17,000 of you on who are doing my free email course, and the biggest request we had was more discipline techniques. So in the second video, I'm going to show you my top discipline techniques that'll go from a crazy rabble of kids, adults doing anything, to super attentive students who will be listening to you and working together with you and being really focused on what we're going to do, which is pretty cool. But for this video, I'd love to get your feedback. So please, if you've tried any of these activities, or if you're going to try them, or if anything about the mindset or anything has helped you or made you think, wow, that's different or something, please let me know and put a comment below. I love to hear it, and it's comments from all of you that inspire me to keep going and keep making more videos and more things for you. And also as well, you inspire your fellow teachers. Because I know a few of you may be looking at the video and thinking, oh no, I couldn't possibly try that. But if they see how many of you have actually tried it in the comments and seen the results that you've actually got, you know, other teachers will try this out and start improving their lessons too. And that's what it's all about, you know, building this community where we all help each other out, sharing our best ideas, being positive and helping each other. So the second video is going to be really awesome. As I say, my top discipline techniques to get your classes from being totally chaotic to being super cool. And I just want you to take on board everything we said about the mindset stuff, about being positive. Remember, there's always, every class can become a good class. Whatever problems you have now with teaching, we can help fix them because we've all been there before. We can show you the techniques and support you and get you walking into your lessons on a morning, on an afternoon, on an evening thinking, yes, this is easy, I can do this. We still have to do the work, but we make it as least amount of work as possible, the least effort to get the best results from your classes. Because I want you to enjoy teaching. Whether you're a new teacher and you're new to this and it's all overwhelming and you want to get into enjoying it, or whether you're a seasoned teacher who just wants to put some excitement and energy back into your classes, that's what I want to help you do. So keep your comments going below. I'll read every single one. I'll try and respond to as many as I can. If you've got questions, you can put a few in there as well, but I think we'll have more of those in the next video, which will be coming up shortly. So keep an eye on your emails, and if you've got any friends who you think would like this video or would be helped by some of the techniques here, please share this on Facebook or Twitter, whatever it is, on email. Share it with your friends as well. The more teachers we can get involved, as I say, the more motivated I get to help you out and to bring you more things to make your lessons even better. So I'm Richard from Genki English, and I'll see you in the next video very soon. Goodbye.